Okay, so what do we really have here? Let's just go front to back. Right out front, previous owner put sort of an additional bumper on the front. He said he put this on there to keep from banging up the factory bumper. It actually worked. I mean, the factory bumper's in good shape. Sitting over top of, not mounted to, this sort of ancillary front bumper is a 12,000 pound Badland. So I don't have any experience with Badland. I've read mixed reviews, but came with the truck. It's 12,000 pounds, which is nuts for a CJ6. But you know, we'll give it a shot. This is actually sitting on a modular winch plate that is in a 2-inch receiver that is just bolted to a plate that's welded between the front frame rails. So you know, nothing pretty, but it works. I will probably have moved this winch so that it's mounted directly to a plate between the frame rails and ditch the 2-inch receiver, but I don't know, I'm not sure yet. Moving back to the Jeep itself, these are not factory, these are fiberglass front fender flares. So, you know, whatever, things get broken along the way. It's 42 years old, so you can't complain too much. The grill appears to be original, appears to be stock. You can see we've still got sort of this fabric on here that was original to these. So that's great. Headlights and side markers all work well. This guy has made a couple modifications. You can't really see for the light here, but there are just some little eyelets there, presumably for tying things down. Before we get into the engine bay, we'll take a look at the front suspension. Coming underneath here, I don't know how well this will show up, but this was a plow vehicle for a couple of years. Probably quite a few years, to be honest. The front plow apparatus is actually welded to the frame, so we'll have to cut that out. But, I mean, as a result of it being a plow vehicle, the front springs are, you can't see them at all, but the front springs are completely inverted. I mean, this thing looks like a, I don't really know what the appropriate analogy is, but it sits way higher in the back than it does in the front. I don't know if you can see the spring angle there, but they're just upside down. So one of the first orders of business, just to get it roadworthy, really is going to be replacing the front spring. I might just go with stock replacements for now. I don't know. We'll see. So that's got to be done. Obviously, this is a CJ6. So I've heard rumors that you could get factory power steering. I've never seen a factory power steering option. I've actually seen one on a pre-76 CJ5, and obviously that includes every CJ6. So this is manual steering. Manual steering does work, works great. It doesn't actually have near as much slop as I expected it to. So that is what it is. Manual brakes. Previous owner was actually a pretty interesting guy. Bought it from him. He's a shade tree mechanic of the highest form. So this manual brakes, there's the cylinder there. But he actually put a line lock in, so that this is a hydraulically controlled parking brake. So you just lock all 4 brakes with a line lock in the cab, and that's what serves as your parking brake. It works great. Brand new lines at all 4 corners, brand new. I mean, brass is still shiny on them. So this guy actually kept the truck in really good shape for what he was doing with it. Obviously, AMC 304, the only V8 option that was ever available in the CJ6. It's the smallest of the AMC V8s that were available at the time. People sort of give mixed reviews on this engine. A lot of guys say you can build them. A lot of guys say just swap it for something else. I don't know. We'll see what I end up doing with it. It's got great torque. Yeah, the low end power on this thing does not leave you wanting. But I've got a feeling that once you got it up past, 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour. That's sort of where you're going to top out from a horsepower standpoint. But you know, we'll see what we end up doing. Nice new interstate battery. He's got a bunch of stuff wired in here. Fused link for the front winch power. Obviously the negative is there. This is actually, he has this already wired to put a second battery out back and to have it charge off of the alternator. Again, the guy did some cool stuff with this. I'm really pleased, not only with the vehicle, but also with the person who sold it to me. And he's local. He's about 15 miles away if I had questions on the truck, which is great. The frame, I'd eat off this frame. I'm blown away by how clean the frame rails are. And that's pretty much the story all the way back. There's a little chip, but it looks like it's more from somebody bottoming the thing than it is from rust. The frame looks to be in just really good shape. Obviously, I'll explore boxing it in down the road, but for right now, the frame is very nice for the age of the truck and for the duty that it's been pulling. Like I said, it was a plow truck before the previous owner bought it, and he's been using it just as a workhorse on his farm. So really nice shape for the frame. Anybody that knows these knows this is a pre-76. It's a pre-CJ6. It's got disc brakes, or excuse me, drum brakes all the way around. So manual drum brakes on all four wheels. Thank God it doesn't weigh much. All right, so let's put the hood down so that we can get some light rolling towards the back here. All right, that's good enough. There's diamond plate, like just in spots. I mean, underneath these fiberglass flares feel fine, but I don't know. The guy liked diamond plate, I guess. No corner markers, so we'll have to add those in, but que sera. As you can see, there's diamond plate front to rear on this baby once you get past the fender flares. So he says he just didn't care to fill all the little pitted rust holes. I'm hoping that it's just pitted rust holes. It's dark back here. Sorry about that. You can't see a lot. Like I said, full Myers, which just, that was beautiful find in my opinion. You know, these Myers tops are, I just think they're as cool as it gets as far as the Jeep hardtop goes. They were sort of a factory safari looking top. And we've got the full thing here. So as we can see, full diamond plating on that all the way back around the rear. Sorry we can't see much here. I meant to clean the garage out before I got my next project, but I had to jump on this, so it's in here with a bunch of other stuff. We will have more space eventually, especially once we pull that extra 1.5 feet of bumper off the front. We don't need to be back so far. But, I mean, original tailgate, original chains, YJ taillights, which who cares. This has got a class 3 on it. Like a just beefy class 3 receiver, which is great. I will be using this to tow a little bit. Let's see if we can get to it. Oh man, I wish I had more space in here. Oh well. Oh, there you go. How beautiful is that? Just opens right up, sits right there on the original hinges. Not a lot of light inside. Maybe I'll grab a shop light to do the interior, but yeah, the hardtop's in great shape. We've got a couple of pinholes here, which I may weld from the inside, but I may also just fiberglass, to be honest with you. It really is structurally very sound. Again, this guy was kind of, he did some very useful things to the inside of the truck. There's a 1/4-inch stock that he's put as a U-brace that just runs between the opening back here to keep it from flexing. We've got just some sheet metal that's patching here. It's definitely patchy in the bed, but they were solid patch jobs. He has run, yeah, we'll have to just get a work light in here and do the interior. YJ roll bar, family style cage installed. ahead and drop that back down. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Works great. Love it. Ta-da. Just great. Awesome. Obviously you probably can't see, but this is sitting a lot higher in the back than it is in the front. So, like I said, the front suspension is shot. I don't know. The guy, he said he never drove it on the roads, so that's why he was able to get away with it as it was. I did get to wheel it a little bit on his property. He's got a big old farm up in New Hampshire, and it performed great. I'm going to go ahead and say these are brand new BFG ATs. I mean, these are just, they've still got the nipples on them in some places. Like, how do you do better than that? Obviously, manually locking hubs. He's got it on 15-inch American Racing rims. He has the original rims that he will be giving to me eventually. But that's the exterior. We've got a little surface rust here on top, just where his paint job started peeling. He said that let's climb up here. He said that he did the spray job on this just with a couple of cans of Rust-Oleum. So he really wasn't planning on making this truck showroom nice. He's also run eye bolts through the top of it to make it easier to lift the top on and off. I don't know, maybe I'll end up plugging those, but they're kind of useful. Anyway, that's oh man, this back end is high off the ground. Oh. I mean, you could see the slant in the roof. That's just way on up there, and then this zoop way down there. So that's an exterior walk around. I'll be doing hopefully a lot of videos with this truck. I love it. I've been after a CJ6 for so long, specifically a 104 wheelbase. The fact that it has a 304 in it is just icing on the cake. The fact that it's in this shape just blows my mind. So this is Project CJ6. Updates as I do stuff. I'll try to be pretty diligent about making videos, but we all know how that ends up sometimes. All right. Thanks for watching. Check out my next video if you're interested in the interior, or don't. Sorry if I bored you.